Idaho Falls Pediatrics, proudly supporting kids in our community, and 7 Questions with Emmy.
Hey guys, welcome back to 7 Questions with Emmy. My guest today is part of a music group that has nearly 6 billion views on YouTube and over 15 million subscribers. 3 brothers formed Boyce Avenue in 2004, and their music is incredible. Danielle is joining me today. It's so nice to talk with you.
Same. Thank you for having me.
Question number 1. How was Boyce Avenue formed, and who came up with the name?
Well, we're all brothers, so we've been together. We like to joke since our youngest brother was born. So we say that technically as of his birthday, Boyce Avenue came about. But the actual band and the name started when my youngest brother Alejandro was 13, and my other brother I think would have then been 15, and I would have been 17, 18. We started all playing music together. And I'd say by the time we were in our late teens, early 20s, we wanted to become a band and we needed a name. So we had grown up on this street called Boyce Street, but we didn't like that Boyce Street sounded too much like the Backstreet Boys. So we ended up combining 2 streets that we had lived on and came up with the name Boyce Avenue.
That's cool. Your YouTube channel has nearly 6 billion views. Why do you think you've been so successful?
Wow, good question. I think that hard work, consistency, and also, I'm not just saying this because he's my brother, but Alejandro, our singer, I think has an amazing voice, and it's a voice that I think is really soothing and resonates with a lot of people, as is sort of the music style that we play. We chose very early on to dedicate ourselves to like acoustic style music, and we've always stuck to that on YouTube. And I think that people just appreciate that when they want really chill music where they can hear and appreciate the lyrics and the message, they can come to us and maybe find something that they like. So I think that has helped.
What's one of the biggest lessons you've learned in the music industry?
Oh my gosh. One of the biggest things we learned is patience and hard work and never giving up. And I know that sounds kind of cheesy or trite, but in our case, there were a lot of artists that in the early days, before we were really anything, we were sort of maybe competing with or jealous of in our minds, just thinking, wow, they've achieved all this. We wish we could achieve that. And then over time, we started to see that some of those artists ended up, coming back and opening for us later, or ended up wanting to do collab videos with us. And so what we found was that, if we could just be consistent and work hard, we could achieve a lot of the things that we wanted to achieve. And that it wasn't so much about being focused on other people, but staying true to what we wanted to do.
You've toured a lot of places. Have you ever been to Idaho and tried our famous potatoes?
We have not as a band been to Idaho, but I did have the pleasure of going to Boise to go to I went to a wedding of one of my good friends, and it was in Boise, Idaho, and I loved it. It was a great city. The wedding was at a winery. It was beautiful.
You guys should come tour here, and I can come and watch.
We would gladly have you out to a show.
And after, you can have potatoes, let's say.
Sounds great.
Out of all the songs you recorded, do you have a favorite?
That's a good question. That's a tough one. We've done a lot of songs. It's really hard. I'm going to go with the Friends theme song. We covered the I'll Be There For You theme song, and that's a show that we have always loved. But more recently, my kids have gotten into it. So that song kind of has special meaning to me for that reason.
You guys do good covers of all of your songs.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. What is it like working with your brothers every day?
It's great. Honestly, they're my best friends. And whenever we go on tour, we always joke with people that it's not as sort of dramatic as some other brother bands like Gallagher's or bands of brothers that you hear of that fight all the time or that argue. We actually don't fight very often. We get along really, really well, and we love being on tour together.
What is the one thing Boyce Avenue hopes to accomplish in 2022?
I'd love to see us get back to writing some original music again. It's been a while. I don't know if that'll be this year. I'd also like to see, for the whole world's sake, if maybe touring and some of the pre-pandemic things that we used to do and enjoy can come back into full swing. But yeah, we just want to keep making videos. We want to keep writing music and hopefully get on tour, if not so much this year, certainly by next year.
Have you guys been able to go on tour since COVID?
We got the opportunity a month ago to play in Dubai, which was really cool. We went to the United Arab Emirates and we got to play at a exhibition. And we're going to be playing in Brazil this summer, which is a really big place for us to play. The fans in Brazil are really passionate and really supportive. But other than that, honestly, we really haven't done much.
That sounds really cool to go to Brazil.
Yeah, it's very fun when we go, and we're excited about it.
Now it's time for some bonus questions. Are you ready?
Okay. Yep, sounds good.
Kind of hard. They're kind of
hard. All right.
If you weren't involved in music, what careers would you and your brothers be doing?
Well, I don't know that Alejandro ever liked doing anything other than music. Lately, he's gotten into technology. So maybe he would have done something, at the forefront of like digital technology. He loves computers, cameras, all that kind of stuff. Filming, he still enjoys. He's gotten into filming some of our own videos. Fabian was always into art and he studied architecture in college. So I imagine he would have done something with that. And I'm the oldest, so the band didn't really start to take off until after I had already, lived a lot longer than my brother. So I actually have a law degree and I practiced law for a few years. I'd probably still be doing something like that or running my own business if we hadn't done the band.
Do you have any pre or post show traditions / rituals?
We're usually very chill before a show. We don't get a lot of time to sightsee on tour. So sometimes, believe it or not, even right before we get on stage, we're scrambling around, shopping, sightseeing. But right before the show, a good 15, 20 minutes before the show, we usually like to just kind of be together. We may share a drink. And then right before we get on stage, we always hug and then we go on stage.
That's nice. What is one piece of advice someone has given you that you can share with me?
Gosh, I can't remember who it was, but early on, somebody told us to stay true to ourselves and to stick to who we were. And at the beginning of our career, we kind of wanted to be something else, I think. And so we ended up signing a record deal and we kept hoping for radio play, even though we had a thriving YouTube channel at that time. And when we signed the record deal, they all of a sudden didn't let us keep doing the videos on YouTube, the covers. So our channel started to decline. And when we ended up getting off of that record deal, we ended up really deciding as a band that we would always just do everything on our own and trust our instincts. So I think that getting that advice early on, to be ourselves and to do what we love and to stay with it has kind of paid off in the long run.
Thank you so much for talking with me today, Danielle.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
And my mom and dad actually played your cover at their wedding when they did a dance.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was our first dance.
Oh, that's wonderful. What song was it?
Just the Way You Are.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes. So we've been longtime fans. Do you mind if I ask a few questions?
No, sure.
Oh.
How do you decide which songs you're going to do? Like the Adele one. I mean, you must have turned that around pretty quick. The recent one.
Sorry.
Hi.
This is my daughter, Oceana. She was so curious what was going on. She wanted to say.
How old is she? 2 or 3?
4, actually. She's a little one.
Hi. How are you, Rosanna?
Oceana.
Oh, Oceana. Okay.
You say hi?
Hi.
As far as song selection, it's kind of varied. In the early years, we would do a lot of inventive pop songs because we thought we could infuse into them something that they didn't already have, and we also thought that it was kind of appealing to the public to see something unique, like somebody with an acoustic guitar playing an R&B song, you know? In the later years, like now, it's really starting to revert back to just like songs that we liked when we were younger, you know, like songs that our parents like, classics, like songs that will be around or will be popular for a long, long, long time. We're doing less of the pop and radio type stuff now and more of the classics, I guess.
And is this all of your full-time jobs?
Yes, we quit our jobs in I think 2008, and we never looked back.
Nice. And you said that you're big in Brazil. Is that your biggest country with the most fans?
I think at this point it might be. It used to be the Philippines. It used to be, I think, the US. Then it became the Philippines. Then now I think it's Brazil and the Philippines are kind of neck and neck as our biggest demographics.
And do you take their daughter on the road with you? Do you have other kids too?
She's one of four. She's the last one.
Okay.
So I have older kids. My oldest son is 13. So my wife and I have a 13-year-old, 11-year-old, 9-year-old, and she's the 4-year-old.
Oh, great.
3 boys and a girl. And they actually have their own channel too. They've been doing a few covers here and there.
Oh, what is it?
So their group is called Interval 941. And I didn't mention this in the interview, but we were calling ourselves as a band Interval before we chose Boyce Avenue, and the name just kind of never fully stuck, and we chose Boyce Avenue. And then when my kids were trying to find a name and they found that out, they liked it, and so they wanted to be Interval. And then to make it unique, they added the 941 because that's our area code here. Can I ask you a question? How have you gotten so good at doing these interviews? Are you reading something off camera? Like, how are you doing this?
Well, I'll grab it. We all,
Woo! Touch the light.
the light just fell. So I come up with the questions, but like we have a script, so I don't have to
Perfect.
memorize them.
That's so good. Well, you're really, really good at it. And sometimes when we get asked to do things, we have to read it off camera, and it just looks better that way. But I can tell that you've thought about the questions and that you're excited about the interview, and that's really special.
And she's
Thank
been
you.
prepping. We've been listening to your music in the car and here at the house the past week, so she knows.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, if you guys are ever in a city where we're playing a show, we would have you out as our guests gladly. So, just keep in touch and let us know.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Danielle. And good meeting you too.
Say bye. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Hopefully we'll see you on the road soon. Take care.
All right. Talk soon. Okay. Thank you.
Idaho Falls Pediatrics, proudly supporting kids in our community and 7 questions with Emmy.